Burnout here. Hang on a second. There we go. Let's see. Hopefully y'all can hear me all right. I don't know. My audio equipment's kind of a little wonky right now, but whatever. Anyways, so I just wanted to kind of pop in, talk a little bit about, the Orlando shooting thing. I know everyone's been putting up a lot of stuff about this as it is already, and this is just kind of I don't want to say my take on it, because I'm not necessarily looking at the facts of the case as much. My whole thing is that the only thing that I'm really focusing on, honestly, is the just kind of the inhumanity of it all. Now, everyone, all the news media sources have mentioned a lot about it. 50 people killed, 53 injured. Forgive me, I'm just barely awake. It's been kind of hard the last day or two. I've been wanting to try and do a video on this, but I'm also dealing with a crazy person at my place. As some of you have seen my other videos know, I was attacked by a person, and she's kind of indirectly, rather, talking to other people about things she's going to continue to do to me. So I'm trying to get that fixed. But anyways, the news media outlets have been putting up all the information: 50 killed, 53 injured, on the bad side of it all. And then on the good side of it all, you see pretty much right away 1,300 plus people going to donate blood to try and help, which is, that's an amazing thing to see, that quick turnaround for tons of people in the community, whether they're white, black, Asian, Hispanic, anything. It doesn't matter what their nationality was. It didn't matter what their religion was. It didn't matter what their sexual preferences were or anything of that nature. They just went and gave blood because they knew it was needed. And like I said, my big thing is, I know plenty of people who have put up videos talking about all the facts of the case. One dude going in and shooting up the place, and some sources had stated he was on a gay dating website, that he had been in Pulse multiple times. And honestly, I don't know what to believe on that case. And the only reason I say that is because, well, God, I should really just readjust the camera. The thing is that I have problems with is I don't know what to believe on the news media, because the news media always is so biased. They always turn things to their want and will to be able to get the best ratings, and that's what it boils down to. And tons of clickbait feeds that just show all this stuff. But the thing that I look at, and the thing to me that's the worst, is the massive amount of stuff coming out of this from the religious right, through either sermons or Twitter messages or Facebook posts, things of that nature, all the social media outlets, basically. And there's so many of them that sit there and say they're happy that 50 people are now dead. They say they're happy about this because it's made the world a better and safer place. What's funny is I've never seen these, you don't hear that these gay people are out there just ruthlessly murdering people. I mean, sure, there are people like that. I understand. I'm not talking about the outliers, because the outliers in our society, of course, are insane. And that's why they're outliers. It's why they're not part of the general populace. That's why we don't kind of mentally include them in this is what a normal person is like. Because, a normal person doesn't just go out there and kill tons of other people. A normal person doesn't go out to a pride parade with a trunk load of weaponry and explosives, intent on killing more people on the same day. And by the way, if you didn't know about that, yeah, LA, they stopped a guy from doing that. And then on top of that, the other thing that people probably didn't know about, or maybe they do, especially those in the state, but in Colorado, there was another shooting that same day, 5 people. It's not obviously 10 times worse in Orlando, but still, that's the point. It's still people killing others. And the only thing I can say is that this saddens me so much, because even if you do believe in an afterlife, and we don't know that there is one or that there isn't one, but imagine this thought that there isn't one, that this is all we have. And these people are going out and just snuffing out the lives of these young people who are barely getting into their own life. Some of those guys, some of the people that were killed at Pulse were in their 20s, their early 20s. For fuck's sake, I didn't know what I was or what I wanted to do when I was in my early 20s. I still don't even know now. I'm 29. It's sad. And I know this is basically just a gigantic appeal to emotion, but there's a reason. And the only thing that I can say is I really hope that this kind of thing sends a very big message to everyone, whether or not you're religious, whether or not you identify with a specific gender or don't identify with any at all, or whether or not you, what your personal sexual preferences and predilections are, that we are still all one people. We are all still one species. We're still nothing more than a big group on this little planet that is circling this gigantic ball of fire in space. We're all together on it. So why do we keep finding all these people who refuse to let us all just live together? Yes, we're going to have differences. Yes, we're going to have arguments, and we're going to have fights. But even when I was in the military, I knew that the one hardest thing that I would ever have to do would be that day that I would have to pick up my rifle and fire back and kill someone else just because of a difference in ideologies. Now, at the time, thankfully, I never had to. I'll admit that. I got into a job field that didn't require me to do that kind of thing. But I knew that if that day had ever come, the one thing that would destroy me entirely would have been to kill another person. Because even when I was religious still, when I was a Christian, I could not imagine the thought of taking the life of another human being and sending them to this place of eternal torment that I used to believe in. And again, whether or not it's even true, or that it even exists, which I don't tend to believe it does anymore, but the thought still remains that you're doing one of two things. You're snuffing out a life here, and while, yeah, they were in direct conflict with us at the time, who's to say that a few years back that they weren't just me. They weren't just trying to have a family, trying to live their life. And then the thought of killing them, sending them to eternal torment. And now just ending this finite existence that we have so quickly. You'll have to forgive me. I know that being on the hormones has kind of driven me a lot more to be a bit more emotional instead of just always as logical as I try to be. And it's so early in the morning. Well, it's not even early in the morning. It's 5 o'clock. It's 5:45 now, actually. Thank goodness I have a doctor's appointment today, or I'd be leaving for work in 5 minutes. But just think about that for a few minutes. We don't have to be assholes to each other all the time. So many people are, and we don't need to be. I sound like a fucking hippie. I know it. I know I do. I'm not going to sit there and say we need more gun control or we need to ban Islam in America. I'm not going to say those things because I don't think either of them are the correct answer. I think there's more to it than that. There's way more to it than just an easy more gun control or Islam is the enemy. We have to kill them, or we have to take them out, or we have to just not allow them in the country. Things like that. Gun control and xenophobia are not going to fix this. It takes a fundamental shift of mind to fix this. And I don't care if you're religious. We may have our disagreements on stuff, but I think we can all agree, or we should all agree on this one fact. We know we only have one life. Many people say we have an afterlife, but we know for a fact we only have this one. Are you going to spend it being assholes to each other? Or are you going to do your best to try and make this life and this one short stint of time that we have on it as good as you can be, as good as it can be? Thank you all for watching. I know, kind of a very rough video, just a rough stream. I didn't even do any edits. This is all live stream at the moment. So, if you guys like the video, leave comments, likes, share it with friends on social media, kind of get the word out, let them see my ugly face. And, of course, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Try and take it easy, everyone. Try and just remember that we are all one people, and we need to treat each other nice. Because otherwise we just live in a shitty world, and it's not worth it.